Rise and shine, everybody. It's time to shake up the morning. Welcome in to the Farm2Table Direct Show morning edition. I am Ryan, your host, and we are here sipping coffee. And whether you're sipping coffee in the kitchen or gearing up for a busy day, let's get ready to get informed, get inspired, and connected to the people and stories shaping our world. So let's get ready and let's kick it off. All right. First things first, I'd be going to Jack over there at Redneck Weather Report, but Jack is not on today. He's out traveling, trying to get back from Alaska. I imagine that's the last report that I had. He did his Redneck Weather Report the last couple of days from there, so I figure they're traveling today. And good morning, welcome in, and yeah, let's get the chat opened up. Good morning, Teresa Jukowicz. Nice to see you in here with me this morning. Hey, there's Scotty. Good morning, guys. Glad to see y'all up and bright and early on a New Year's Day. Welcome into the very first episode of the morning edition. It is the plan to put one out every morning, Monday through Friday at 6. And anyway, we are going to kind of try to kick that off. Now, I'll have days that my job is going to demand that I be in a bit earlier than I can do this. So I'll record it on those days and set it to release, kind of like some others have to do. But anyway, look forward to spending my mornings with y'all, starting out every day. Kind of decided to, do this to kind of get a little more involved, to be out there with everybody. I hope everybody's had a good weekend. Happy New Year to everybody. 2025 is here. We are in a brand spanking new year, which is kind of hard to imagine already. 2024 was you only slept 3 hours. Goodness, Scotty, I don't know what you were doing. I guess you up partying the night away there, bringing in the new year. I was asleep long before midnight came around. I can promise. But I don't stay up for that anymore unless something's going on. But decided to open the new year with this new show, and really a rather hot topic. Honestly, I'm not gonna dig in too deep today because we've got a lot of stuff coming up on our Tuesday show that's going to be dealing with this more directly. But this was a news headline. I mean, outside of elections and things like that, we're taking the news, but this within the homesteading world, this within the farming world, honestly, this was a very hot issue and a lot of stuff going on with it. And that is raw milk, and what a little company out of Arkansas has coined the raw milk revolution. And we'll get into that here in just a minute. But there's been yeah, I was sleeping too, Teresa, believe me. This issue with raw milk has made the headlines a lot. Now, this is not a new issue. This is actually a 100-plus-year-old issue. Started way back, first part of the 20th century, when they figured out how pasteurization worked and all that. Like I said, I don't want to dig too deep into that boring. It's not boring, but it is, mundane history, how that happened. But I was recently seeing a ad, I guess you'd call it, propaganda ad from like the 1930s or 40, something like that. It was it was drawn cartoon ad, and it was talking about not giving your raw milk to your babies. And it showed the one on the raw milk was sickly and skinny, and it showed this baby that was on the regular milk as kind of chubby and healthy looking and fat. And I just, I thought, man, that was propaganda even back then. But like I said, there's a lot of history there we'll dig into. I know Keith and I have a show coming up with Brian DeShazo from Okie Farm and Hatchery, and we're working with Brian digging in on raw milk, and so and some of the legislation that's going on with that. So we'll be talking pretty extensively over the next coming weeks. But anyway, California recently had cases of the bird flu linked to raw milk. It's a particular guy out there, and I'll get into the story in a minute, but he is actually one of the raw milk dairy producers in California that sells exclusively raw milk, unpasteurized milk. And the first thing I said was, what? Wait a minute. And you got to get this. California allows the sale of raw milk commercially. I mean, it's California, for crying out loud. Uh, you know, the, California, another country, some people even say, but, can you believe that they actually allow it out there now? The way it was put to me, they've been on the health kick for a long time out there, and that's true. But yeah, they allow it commercially. And this particular farm had some cases, and so being investigated, being checked out. It was one. It was an isolated batch. He recalled the batch, even though nobody had gotten sick. But they came in and tested, and it showed testing. So we're going to get into that testing here in just a minute. Now, the reason I say that is because there is a new mandate that is been issued by the USDA that requires testing of dairy farmers, commercial producers. Now, this is one's going to pasteurization at the moment, but it is testing that is required. And I'm going to pull this up here in a minute and share this with you. Joel Salatin and them have been on this like crazy. But we'll get into that. Arkansas has a new House bill to legalize retail sales of raw milk. And there's also some movements going on in Oklahoma, which is part of what we're working with, and we'll talk about in a minute, to revise their current laws. And of course, Holly Hickman with the raw milk in California and some of that stuff going in. Has put out some stuff, so we're just going to jump right in with that. Holly Hickman with Cultivate News. Those of you who don't know who she is, I recommend you go to Cultivate News. Holly is a former journalist. We did a story on her here just recently, and she's got a certain way of doing it, but she's dug into this, and I want to share this with you for a minute. Hope y'all enjoy this little conversation. Let me get my share screen. I'm still learning how to operate these controls. Keith normally does this. Now, she did this particular one right here, this particular issue 20. It's a newsletter that she puts out, and it says, "Will raw milk give you the bird flu?" That was back in June that she put that out. So 6 months ago, 6 months ago. And now she, like I said, we've done disclaimers on this, but anyway, they're talking about that. But she said poorly managed raw milk can indeed sicken or maybe even kill you, but so can pasteurized milk and cantaloupes and walnuts and sandwiches and beef and chicken. But anyway, so she did that. Beth Dougherty, I don't know if y'all know who she is, but you need to Sean and Beth Dougherty. Human beings have been drinking raw milk for thousands of years because it's good for them. It's a known good and a great good, confounding the exertions of those who smear it. But anyway, not worried about whether it's good or bad. Just will it give you the flu? It's highly unlikely. Now, she talked to a scientist named Peg Coleman, medical microbiologist. But anyway, they basically no supporting evidence of viral transmission of raw milk to humans. Highly pathogenic avian flu, the HPAI. And the reason boils down to, and I'm going to come back off of this here just a second. Let me come back off of this. Yeah. Good morning, Chris. Happy New Year. Glad to see you in with us. And she readdressed that in December this year about part 2 of this, and this was on this story in California. Bird flu detected in raw milk sold in California. It's according to NBC News. Let me go over here and let me share that with you. Like I said, I'm still learning the controls. I'm used to having Mr. P with me, but I can assure you he is not out of bed. Anyway, Thanksgiving headlines started hammering the message again: bird flu and raw milk. So let me get down here. There's a diagram of the different flus, but anyway, HPAI, highly pathogenic avian influenzas, more virulent. Poultry, bird flu. Among cows, it's less virulent. About 2 weeks of loose stuff and low grade fever. Cows usually tend to get D, not A. But anyway, rarely affects humans. And the reason they explain this, that it rarely affects humans, is because the flu is airborne and not, uh, you can't ingest it. You can breathe it or snort it, but we don't actually inhale our food, he said, unless it's apple pie. The CDC occurs. Um, it wants to build a nest in your lungs, not your stomach or your throat. So both said HB is not considered to be a foodborne pathogen. That's FDA and USDA. So anyway, Central Valley region of California. Let's see if I can find it. Raw Farm LLC. It's the biggest raw milk producer in the Central Valley in California and indeed the country. Its founder, Mark McAfee, a charismatic firebrand. Mark has done a lot to forward the cause of raw milk, including the food safety standards to help homesteaders. So you might want to check him out, Mark McAfee, Raw Farm LLC. Um, and he is to the cause of raw milk what Joe Salatin is to pasture-based regenerative farming. But anyway, he recalled it, like I said. So, and what they aren't telling you, at least making clear, is no one has become ill from drinking this batch of Raw Farm's milk. Zero reports of human illness, according to California Department of Public Health. Both locations and results were negative for the virus. An unrelated brought of the 28 dairy farm workers in California bird, none were hospitalized and none died. Still, at least one reporter implicated raw milk. But it kind of said the headline was, it's unclear how many of those infected were drinking raw milk, but many were dairy workers in California. So, I mean, it's, yeah, it's just much ado about nothing, but there's just going on with that undue attack on that. And so, it just continues to go there, this attack on raw milk. Joel addressed some of it in his, hang on, here we go. Let's see. Let me go over here. Like I said, guys, bear with me. I'm getting used to these controls. But yeah, I subscribe to Keith watches Beyond Labels. Oops, actually, want to go back to that again. Boy, I am messing that up. Anyway, share screen, road blue, share. Okay, the Lunatic Farmer, musings from the Lunatic Farmer. That's Joel's blog. I get that in my mail whenever it comes out. And Keith also does Beyond Labels podcast, which both have covered this. And anyway, it's what they're talking about here. What Joel brings out is the fact that they used the PCR test, which, by the way, if y'all don't know, that was the same test they were using during the pandemic of 2020 and all that, the PCR test. And it's not being used correctly is the hypothesis, and I would agree. It's even its owner, But anyway, if you don't, if you like to read, just hear what Joel's thinking. This is what I get every day or whenever he puts it out. But anyway, so they go back to it, but they're talking about the PCR testing, and that's part of that federal mandate I was talking about. That all the tanks at like these dairies and stuff are having to be tested, and now they're wanting to test the farms. So the original they were testing it at the bulk tanks at the dairy, and then now they've come in and testing it at the farm. So hey, okay, they're going to test these farms. So they can go onto this property anytime they want to, no warrant, no nothing, and inspect these tanks using testing that is questionable at best and just not dependable. So that's what's going on with the mandate. Arkansas, we'll move right along. Arkansas has a new law on the floor. It's coming to when they come back in session this year, 2025, HB 1048, titles to amend the law concerning the incidental sale of goat milk, sheep milk, and whole milk that has not been pasteurized, and to clarify that the incidental sale of raw milk is not limited to a sale on the farm. And we're going to let's see where am I at here. Hit that button, and let's see. Yeah, there it is. Raw Milk Revolution. Me and McGee Market is who actually that belongs to right there, their little thing. Arkansas Prosperity and Food Sovereignty Act. Um, anyway, they're getting ready to do that. And it's just going to amend the language. Currently in Arkansas, you're allowed to sell it on the farm up to 500 gallons a month. Um, this will remove the law that only allows incidental sale of raw milk at the farm where it was produced. So what it will do, it'll allow them to commercially sell raw milk or unpasteurized milk up to 500 gallons. And I mean, there's the bill. But anyway, whether they produced it, there's several people on board with it. But anyway, Raw Milk Revolution, me and McGee's Market, locally sourced, turned into Arkansas Department of Health for selling raw milk under the guise of a product for pet consumption, which is a pretty common thing. People sell it for the pets. Anyway, so there they go. They had a rally on October 17th. Wish I'd have known I'd have went. But anyway, proponents of unpasteurized dairy products, more nutritional value, which it's back to the old argument through here. This reporter, I'll give him credit. At least he, at least he was fair and balanced. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on there. And I know I've breezed through that, and that's okay. I don't know if any of y'all listening this morning, y'all can chime in the chat. Let me know if y'all consume raw milk or not. I'll be honest with you, I don't. And it's not necessarily that I wouldn't. It's just that, honestly, haven't bothered to. I honestly can't remember. I'm sure as a kid, I consumed raw milk or drank raw milk, raw dairy products. In fact, I know I did because I helped my grandmother make butter sitting in the kitchen. She'd let us younger ones operate the old butter churn, be sitting there, with the stick and the churn, sitting there at the chair, doing that. And that's my memories, making butter, and that was that came off the cow right out there, on the farm. But so I got that memory, but I don't remember but it's not about that. It's about the fact that adults should be able to do business. We should be able to consume, milk. If we should be able to do a business deal with a part with somebody. I'm going to take a quick little 30-second break here, and we will.
Hey, coffee lovers, want the freshest, tastiest brew? Say hello to Farm2Table Direct Coffee. At Farm2Table Direct Coffee, we offer premium beans handpicked for ripeness. Place your order, and our expert roasters get to work. Your coffee is roasted and shipped the very same day. It's that simple. Stay updated with notifications at every step. For the freshest custom roasted coffee, visit farm2tabledirectcoffee.com. That's farm, the number 2, tabledirectcoffee.com. Experience the difference Farm2Table Direct Coffee can make in your morning routine. From the farm to your table, the freshest coffee, guaranteed.
All right, had to get that little no profit breakout. But anyway, as I was sipping on a little bit of coffee, like I said, most people haven't. I mean, if you just go around, I don't know that a lot of people do. I know Holly Hickman, whose article I had up earlier, she's confessed, 20 years. Brian and Ginger DeShazo from Okie Farm and Hatchery, same thing, 15, 20 years they've been drinking raw milk. And and having no problems, never been sick from it. So there it is. Teresa, I talking about being able to find it locally. That's the big thing. It's one of the deals is those who produce it or have if it's incidental or if they're actually producing it, but those who sell it or have it under current laws, they're not allowed to advertise that they have it. So how would, it's hard for a person to find out who does unless they meet somebody who tells them, or they happen to know somebody and they just ask a farmer, hey, do you? Because they're not allowed to advertise. Oklahoma was up until last year. They put an amendment into their law that said they couldn't, they could no longer advertise. And I know that affected a lot of people. And there's been some stories. I don't know the details on the Yoder farm, but it's up eastern Oklahoma. he was selling from the farm, wasn't breaking any laws other than he sold too much. That was his. That was his only, I guess, if crime, if you want to call it a crime, I don't know. But anyway, that was his, they came in, raided his farm, shut him down and everything because he sold too much, and said that he had to meet all these requirements. But one of the things we've talked about and read is that, it can get, it's actually a lot of times safer because we've learned about bacteria. We've learned about washing hands and keeping things clean. And those who take care of dairy cows, the mastitis, they know how to take care of that. And they'll generally keep it cleaner. That most of your problems are on the big commercial dairies because they know all this is going to be pasteurized, so they're not as worried about it because pasteurization kills it all. And same thing at the dairies. It goes into a big bulk tank, several thousands of gallons, and it's going to be tested. So a farmer out there in that case might let his standards drop a little bit. He might not keep it clean where, that guy on his local, he's going to do it. But Teresa, I don't know where you're at. I know you've probably told us before, but if there's a farmer's market nearby or there's any kind of farm store, any kind of, where people sell local stuff, they won't have it there, I'm sure. Some states allow it. Like I said, California allows it. I mean, I was just amazed. But if California can get this right, what's wrong with the rest of the country? Normally, whatever California does, the rest of us do. But I don't know, it seems like with the laws and everything. But it started back with the catalytic converter, and it ain't stopped. But anyway, if you want, Southwest Tennessee, well, then I know that there's some people around you somewhere around there. But hit a farmer's market, or something like that. And, if you're interested, what you said you would if you could find it locally, you have to go to like farmer's market or somewhere and just ask somebody if they know somebody kind of thing, where you can get it because, and like I said, I'm not sure if Tennessee, I'm not sure if they allow it or not. You'll have to do just to get on the old Google machine and do a search, and it'll tell you whether or not your state allows the sale, because there's states out there that it actually is restricted. They don't allow the sale of it at all. Some it's like Arkansas, Oklahoma, a certain amount, incidental, from the farm only. Some states, there's things because, I mean, again, they can't, in most states that even if they allow it on a limited basis, they're not allowed to advertise it. Good morning, Bread Man. Welcome in from Virginia all the way out. Teresa, I'm glad you brought that up about allergic to milk. And I just wonder if it's the milk itself or if it's the pasteurization process or the homogenate, the process it goes through, and the lactose and that sort of thing. Because, like, I know I can have a very little bit of milk, like I can, like chocolate milk. I'll admit I like chocolate milk. Teresa said she was, says allergic to raw milk, but would love to try it. I got to forget I can do that there. Highlight that comment. But anyway, a lot of people I think are in that boat, Teresa, where they have reactions to it, and they, like me, if I drink too much regular, just good old whole milk, which I like, but at the same time, it don't like me. I'll like my throat will get cottony and, and all that type of stuff. And so if I've got milk, it's usually as an ingredient or something like that, just because of that. But I think it's more from the process. I think it's more the pasteurization, the stuff they put in it to make it what it is. So, and I've tried it at 2%, 1%, whole milk, vitamin D milk. I've tried it about every way, and pretty much they all do the same thing. So I can understand your, wanting something, but it not liking you. But so we do that kind of. I do have to understand that. But well, Happy New Year, Bread Man. I know you just jumped in with us. He said good morning to us all from out there, and he's out in Virginia, out there around Charlottesville. Just got in the community here recently. Got on with the live streams the other night. Glad to see some of y'all up so bright and early on this New Year's morning, and I'll say Happy New Year to you. Um, Chris, I don't know if you're still on or not, or if you jumped back off, or if your internet on the mountain up there kicked you off. But enjoyed the little the little game going on last night. I had several people I did it on. What Chris Thompson from Hippie Homestead. She did a thing, on Facebook. If you knew her, how'd you meet and make up a lie, tell some funny story or something. So there was some pretty funny stuff on there. It's always fun to do that kind of stuff, because I sure wasn't going to be awake at midnight to chime in on it. But so the milk thing is going to continue to be an issue. Yeah, I slept in the new. I think everybody. Well, I think Scotty might be the only person that was up. I don't know. He old Lone Cross Scotty. Yeah, it seemed like he was up quite a bit. But yeah, man, I think we all slept it in. I know I did, knowing I was getting up to do this morning. But and for those that came in late, as I was telling the ones earlier, be coming out every morning, Monday through Friday with this. Now in the mornings that my work schedule fluctuates, my start times fluctuate at my job, and so we'll be if it's something where I have to be in earlier than I can do this live, then it'll be recorded. Which won't be as much fun because I won't have y'all in the chat, but but we'll get it out, and I'll preface it right out the gate that it's one of those days that I've got to be in before I can sit here for 30 minutes. But we're going to try to cap it at about a half an hour. One, I usually got, because of my schedule, having to get out the door, and then two, just don't want to keep everybody too long sitting here, but listening to me ramble or talk about whatever it is. But we trying to be more up to date on the current headlines and current things, and I get a ton of headline updates every day, so that'll usually drive what the next day's show is something that's pertaining to farming, homesteading, or even something just phenomenal in the world. There was a lot of news blasting in right at the end of the new year. Of course, Jimmy Carter, former president, passing away at 100. That was over the weekend. That was a headline. Okay, you were it's got it quantified there. He said he was at a friend's live last night, and then he took a nap during the day. Scotty, I got that problem. If I sleep too much, if I went in there and laid down during the day, I have a hard time going to sleep. But getting in them lives will keep you up. I got them the other night when I got in with since Jack and them weren't there. Teresa, you're welcome. Absolutely. She said, thank you for your time. And, you're absolutely welcome. I enjoy doing this. Me and Keith both, when my brother's with me, which he won't be on this. I don't think I doubt he's out of bed yet. He keeps different hours than I do, but, it's just something we enjoy doing. But yeah, if I take a nap, Scotty, during the day, yeah, going to sleep. But I got caught up in over there on Red Dirt Rooster Road because Jack with the Dyer Family Farm didn't have his Saturday night, so I ended up staying for their almost whole thing. But it was like I was up past my bedtime. I had to be up and go to work next morning, and it was not. He is up. He chimed in his Farm2Table Direct Show. Well, morning, bro. Catching in on the tail end there. Yeah. Anyway, so he's in on our under the Farm2Table Direct Show. So for those who, so he's on Facebook there, but he's in live. But anyway, yeah, Breadman, I agree. I don't know if 2024 is going to be better. I pray that it is. We had some things in 2024 that made it a rough start to a year. My mother-in-law passed away right in January, and after being sick for a while, and it was a string of loss of family over a period of time, a year. We lost my mom. Keith and I lost our mom, and lost a granddaughter. We lost my mother-in-law. The year before, we'd lost my brother-in-law. I mean, it's just, we lost a friend in the middle of that. It was just a rough year, but strange feeling. It's going to be not only a crazy year, Breadman, but a strange year. we got a lot of hope coming in with President Trump, but we got to be realistic about what that's going to look like, and it may not be what we think it is, but we'll see. You're right though. I think it's going to be a crazy year. But guys, man, I mean, everybody's jumping in right here, but it's 6:30, and I said I was going to try to cap this off to 30 minutes. And, I've already talked about the subject that I had for today, which was raw milk. So what I would encourage you with the raw milk, one, stay tuned to the Farm Table Direct Show. We will be doing a show coming up very, very soon on that. Also next, let's see, so we'll be back in Tuesday, this coming next Tuesday. I'll be back the next 2 days, so I'll remind you more. We'll be coming in the next couple of days, next week. Thank you, Brad, man. Appreciate that. It was a tough year, but it's been a better year this year. Got a new grandbaby, so another one on the way. So that heals a lot of things. But we'll be back live on our regular Tuesday nights starting next week on Tuesdays at 7. But next Thursday, the 9th at 7, we're going to be on with Monty Shrunk, the Suburban Sodbuster. We're going to be on his channel, and he's actually going to be interviewing my brother and I, talking to us on his channel. So if you get a chance, if you don't know who he is, Suburban Sodbuster, his name's Monty Shrunk. Awesome guy. But basically, I mean, he's homesteading inside the suburbs. About the best way I can explain that. He's a beekeeper, gardener, super smart guy with an awesome voice. But anyway, so be looking forward to that. We'll get more out of that over the next couple of days. I won't bore you with all those details. But anyway, if you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends. If you haven't, or if they haven't, subscribed to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, and X. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, about farming, and about, of course, our community. That is how we get the word out. It's not only, about building our channel. It's about more reach that we can get out. The more people we can communicate to, the more we can spread the message, the more we can cover what's going on, the more word we can get out. Because that is our purpose here at the Farm to Table Direct Show, is to highlight the homestead community. We believe it is the solution to a lot of the things going on. We believe it is the way to do it. And hey, if you can't grow a garden, or you can't raise animals, you can buy from those who can. You can purchase from a local farmer's market. But anyway, so guys, have a great day. I hope y'all enjoy the day. For many of y'all, I hope it's a day off, and hope you enjoy it. And as we charge head forward into this new year, head first, head forward. I was trying to say 2 words at one time there, bird. Anyway, some of that Arkansas, Oklahoma language there. But anyway, until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people. And remember, we are stronger together. And until next time, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning. And 6 a.m. I'll be back, and we'll talk some more tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. We will see y'all later.